The Lord be with you, and a warm welcome to you from all of us here at Powers Court with Kilbride. The river is high and we are emerging into sunlight from a week of thunderstorms and heavy rain. You're welcome to join us this morning for the next 10 or 15 minutes as we worship God in this little square. But first, we pause for a moment wherever we may be to acknowledge the presence of the ever-present Christ with us now. he entered Jericho and was passing through it. And a man was there named Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was rich. He was trying to see who Jesus was, but on account of the crowd, he could not, because he was so short in stature. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see him, because he was going to pass that way. When Jesus came to the place, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for I must stay at your house today." So he hurried down and was happy to welcome him. And all who saw it began to grumble and said, "He has gone to be the guest of one who is a sinner." Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, "Look, half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor. And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much." Then Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek out and to save the lost." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Zacchaeus was somebody who was used to being looked down upon. Not only was he short in stature, but he was a tax collector. That meant he would have been collecting the monies due to the Roman Empire from not only the impoverished, but also from the quite wealthy, and even the likes of the religious organisations like the Pharisees. So he was despised for what he did. And you can only imagine how much this person probably would have been bullied. Yet there was something within this individual that was drawn to the Christ. Perhaps it was just pure fascination of this person called Jesus of Nazareth and the attention he was drawing, or perhaps something had already started to change in the heart of Zacchaeus. But for whatever reason, he pulls himself out of the crowd and he finds himself a place where he gets a far clearer perspective of what's going on. And you can imagine, as somebody who is used to being or finding it difficult to see in a crowd, he elevates himself to a position where he can see very clearly from the branch of a tree. And you can imagine that Zacchaeus feels particularly safe there. He's away from everyone. No doubt people are looking straight ahead of them at the Christ and not really noticing the man up the tree at all. But Jesus has other plans, doesn't he? And he pauses just long enough at the base of Zacchaeus' tree to ask him to come down and to ask him, could he stay the night in Zacchaeus' house? There is great distress, one can only imagine, among the crowd, all these people who have their own opinions as to who this person, Jesus of Nazareth, should be. They're desperately disappointed that he would see fit to be associating with somebody the likes of Zacchaeus. And yet here he is, drawing Zacchaeus down from the tree and asking to go to Zacchaeus' house. What happens next is truly remarkable. It seems in the length of time it takes Zacchaeus to come down from the tree, he has had a complete change of heart. And he says that he will give half of his savings to the poor and that he will refund anybody that he may have done wrong to in the past. So he's actually admitting to the people who despise him that he has done wrong. And all this in the presence of the Christ, in the safety possibly of the presence of the Christ. It seems that all this soul needed was to be accepted, for somebody to say, I want to spend time with you. How many people do we know, or who is the person you know within your life that needs that form of acceptance? Or is it ourselves? Is it the person we are inside of ourselves? We're very quick to embellish negative thoughts or perspectives on ourselves, and we do it so often, so frequently, that this becomes a reality, or it becomes our truth. Seeking the Christ draws us up out of the crowd to a higher, clearer perspective. What happens then is that we encounter the Christ who has known of our presence all the time, regardless of the pressing needs of so many other people, and a Christ who knows our hearts, and a Christ who wishes to restore us by his acceptance and love of us, and a Christ that calls us down again then to ground level with him.